Hi everyone, this is Annindita Palaus and this is my second Facebook live stream. Sorry for the delay, this was supposed to begin at 7 but I'm not very tech savvy and I was just trying to figure out how to get online properly and set everything up. So I hope that's alright. So this particular live stream I had in mind that, since it's March, it's time for some spring cleaning, we would do some work on letting go and surrendering. But I decided to change it a little bit, just keeping in mind the fear and the anxiety that people are facing these days with the coronavirus going on. So I decided to modify it a little bit and make it more focused towards what we need right now. And in fact, I was watching this video by Deepak Chopra today, and one thing that he said that really resonated with me is that emotion can be more contagious than the coronavirus itself. And I really think that is true, because more people are now affected by fear and panic than the people actually affected by coronavirus. So fear and panic is really running rampant, and it is spreading faster than the virus itself. So with that in mind, I decided to do this live stream today to help everyone who's watching to connect more fully to your personal power and to let go of fear, because even science has proved that fear is known to weaken your immune system. And that is the last thing that we want right now, right? We don't want a weak immune system right now. And this reminds me of this very beautiful quote that I read. It is a quote from the Rig Veda. If you know what the Vedas are, these are very ancient texts from Indian culture. And there are 4 Vedas: the Rig Veda, the Sama Veda, the Yajur Veda, and the Athur Veda. So this quote is from the Rig Veda that says, "In the beginning, there was neither existence nor non-existence. The One breathed without breath by its own power. Nothing else was there. All this world was unmanifest energy." So I really resonate with this particular quote from the Rig Veda because, ancient shamans, they used to believe in the same practices and the same ideas too, that the whole world is just unmanifest energy. And for a long time, we all believed that. And then scientists started questioning. And hundreds of years ago, when science was not advanced enough to really research into this, they started looking for energy, but they couldn't find it. So they came to the understanding that the smallest particle of the universe is an atom, and there is nothing beyond it, and there is no energy. So they started calling this just energy stuff as bullshit. It's not real. Nobody can prove it. It was much later that quantum physicists came in, when science had advanced and they had more advanced technology, to finally break the atom and see what is beyond the atom. And then they realized that when you break an atom, then beyond the atom there is electrons, protons, neutrons. And when you go even beyond that, then all these electrons, protons, neutrons, everything is just cloud of energy. And this cloud of energy is just held together by unseen bonds of energy. And what this means is that 99.99% of an atom is just empty space. And the remaining 0.001% is energy. So now the question is that if everything is energy, which means your body right now that you touch and feel to be so solid, it means that our body, which is made up of trillions of cells, all these cells are really 99.99% empty space. And just the remaining 0.001% is energy. So then the question is that if we are just empty space and if we are just light, then how can light get disease? How can space get sick? So what is it that really gets sick? What is it that dies? What is it that is born? How is it even possible? So really take some time to contemplate on that. and write down in the comments, what do you think it is? What do you think? How is it possible that if we are really light, and we are, it has been proven now by science. So there is no question about that at all. So science has already proved it, that we are empty space and light. So then how is it possible that we can be sick? How can space get disease? How can space have sickness? How is it impossible? Have you ever seen how when you go to a movie, you cry when the people in the movie are crying? You laugh when they're laughing. It all seems so real. And yet, after the movie is over, then you realize that, okay, that was just a movie. Those same characters are playing different roles in other movies too. But while you are watching the movie, it is all very real. The sadness is real, the joy is real, the ups and downs are real. And that is exactly how you see in the movie Batman jumping from building to building, and Spider-Man jumping and doing miraculous things, and Superman, flying off into the air. Because it's all a projection. It's a projection of our consciousness. Everything that we see in this physical world is really a projection of our consciousness. So just take a moment to contemplate about that, and just allow that information to just really soak in, so you understand the true nature of our reality. Because everything we experience can have a twofold effect. And by the way, just let me make it clear that the reason I'm saying that our reality, everything is a projection of our consciousness, and it is an illusion, it is a projection, I'm not trying to take away the fact, or I'm not trying to minimize or undermine the fact that yes, there are people who are getting affected by the coronavirus. There are people who are dying every day. There are people who are sick. I'm not minimizing that at all. Because just remember how when you go to the movie hall and you're watching the movie, everything is real. You are crying when the actors are crying. You cry when your favorite character dies. I'm not trying to minimize that at all here. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to bring your focus to a higher truth. Because when you focus on the bigger picture to a higher truth, then you know who you truly are. So I'm not trying to minimize any of the things that we are experiencing here. But the thing is, when you are only focused on the projection on the movie screen, you feel disempowered because you cannot change the projection on the movie screen. What you do have power over is your own consciousness. You change the projection on the movie screen by changing your consciousness. And that is something that is within your power, that is within your control. So if you want to change what is being projected, you have to change the consciousness that is projecting whatever is being displayed. So everything that we experience can serve a twofold purpose. It can either move us towards greater light, or it can take us to greater darkness. But the choice is ours. We always have the choice. You get to choose. You get to decide. There is no outside force that is imposing it on you. And you decide vibrationally. You decide using the power of your consciousness. And what I mean by that is, whatever you think, you create. We are all creators. We are all manifestors. We are the source of everything that is created. We are not just passive observers of things that have been created or that is being created by somebody else so that we can just sit and observe and judge. We are the creators. So when you realize that you are the creator, then you realize that it is completely under your control to choose more consciously. So you can choose whether you want to move towards greater light or towards greater darkness. The thing is, we live in an adrenaline-driven society. And we give ourselves zero time for self-introspection. And I feel like people are working way too hard and spending way too much time doing things that are way too meaningless. And this is a time for forced surrender. This is a time for forced self-introspection. Because as a society, we are so used to keeping ourselves distracted by, just staying very busy with petty activities and issues. We are just so used to keeping ourselves very distracted all the time. And we use distraction as a tool so that we don't have to face the real problem, so that we don't have to deal with the real problem. We just keep ourselves distracted. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, internet, TV, movies, friends, partying, all the things. Drugs, sex, food, whatever it is. We have found lots and lots of ways of keeping ourselves distracted. And that is not working anymore. And this is a time when our consciousness literally is telling us, social distracting, social distancing. So this is the perfect time when you can actually use this time for self-introspection, because now you are literally forced into isolation. You can no longer just, I have a very bad, sucky job, but instead of being more solution-oriented, instead of working towards solving that issue at hand, what I do is I just go to the pub and drink till I feel numb. Or I just go and complain to my friends, and that's all I do about it. Or I have a really bad relationship, but instead of having heartfelt conversations with my partner and trying to figure things out, all I do is just keep myself distracted by going on shopping sprees or just partying, keeping myself distracted with work, just drowning myself in work. But now we don't have the option to do that anymore. Now we are just forced to sit at home and not interact with people either. Of course, there is distraction. There is still Facebook, Instagram, social media, internet, TV, that is still there. But at least the options have decreased. So I feel like this is the perfect time to really go within and deal with all those things that we had been avoiding all this time. So this is really the best time to reflect upon our life and to meditate and practice self-inquiry. And to bring to conscious awareness the areas in your life that needs extra attention and love. So with that in mind, I decided to do this little meditation tonight. And the focus mantra for this meditation is the Sanskrit mantra Sat Chit Ananda, which means truth, consciousness, and bliss. So whenever you're ready, just take a deep breath in, close your eyes. Hopefully you're not driving right now, because if you are, then stop driving and just sit quietly somewhere undistracted for the next 10 minutes. Just close your eyes and relax and take a deep breath and let it go. And just bring to your mind tonight's mantra, Sat Chit Ananda. Truth, consciousness, and bliss. And every time you see your focus getting distracted, just bring this mantra to your mind. Sat Chit Ananda. Truth, consciousness, bliss. Take another deep breath in and let go. And focus or bring your attention to your body and go deeper within. See yourself as a multicellular being. See your body made up of trillions of cells. Go even deeper within. And see yourself as space. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. And go a little bit deeper. And go beyond the space. And experience yourself as the light that you are. And where does space end and light begin? And where does light end and space begin? Just stay connected within, and it's all right if you don't get answers to these questions right away. Just try to stay connected to your heart center instead of answering with your mind. Where does light end and space begin? Where does truth begin and consciousness ends? Where does consciousness end and truth begins? And where does consciousness begin and truth ends? And where does truth end and bliss begins? And where does bliss end and truth begin? And as you stay with these questions, you will see that there is really no difference between truth, consciousness, bliss, space, light, whatever label you want to put on it. It's all just you. Your true nature is Sat, Chit, Ananda. Truth, consciousness, and bliss. And while you're connected to this light within, just bring to your mind the image of our planet Earth and bless every particle, every molecule of the planet with the light that you are, with the truth that you are. And just imagine every person, everything on the planet just flourishing. Hold that picture in your mind. The planet flourishing. Every individual on the planet flourishing. Everyone healthy, happy, full of vitality. Whole and complete. And just bless the planet some more. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes and bring your awareness back to this moment. So I really hope that that meditation helped in shifting your energy and your focus from fear, worry, anxiety, and panic to the truth of who you are, to your inner power. And every time you see yourself listening to the news or reading some article about the coronavirus, instead of getting all anxious and worked up about it, just do this little meditation. Because every time you're holding in your mind the vision of a happy, healthy world, you are doing the biggest service that you can. Believe me, because the biggest service that you can do for the world is uplifting the world energetically. When you uplift the world energetically by holding the vision of a happy, healthy world, then that is the biggest change that you could possibly bring about, because you are changing things at the root level, at the energy level. In fact, actions yield very little result if the energy behind it is not aligned. If energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you feel drained and you feel fear, then from a place of fear, your actions are not going to result in as much good as you could possibly do if you are centered and you are in your personal power. So I know that the world is changing very rapidly right now, and things are constantly shifting, things are constantly moving. And the only way to stay centered and connected is by keeping your focus on a brighter future. And even though it might seem like we are in the middle of very challenging situations, it's not going to remain the same. But the question is that, are you going to make the best of it? Are you going to look for the silver lining? And it is your choice. You always have a choice. And I would say that this is the best time for self-introspection. And this is the best time for taking back your own power. Because I feel like in our deepest, darkest moments, those are the moments when we have the best potential for shining our light even more brighter. And this is your chance to choose to shine your light even more brighter. And so there are a lot of things you could do, even though you might feel stuck sitting at home with the quarantine and everything. And especially for those who have been interested in energy work, I'll be doing a Reiki online workshop in 2 weeks from now. So if you are interested in joining me, you can see the link in the description. And I'm also giving a 50% discount for the time being. So if you have been toying with the idea of learning energy work, then this is actually the best time, because this is definitely the time when you need to take back your power, when you need to feel more empowered and not give in to fear, worry, and anxiety. And that could be just one of the ways. There are, of course, plenty of different alternatives, plenty of different options. You can always meditate, and there are so many other things, yoga. You could do a whole lot of other things. But that is just one of the ways you could decide to take back your own power. So I really hope that this video helped you and the meditation helped in shifting your focus from fear, panic, worry, anxiety to really feeling your inner power. So keep shining your light brightly. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now. And thanks for watching.